It all started when Jack was just 10 years old. His mother had passed away unexpectedly, leaving a void in his life that no one could fill. His father, Richard, devastated by grief, remarried quickly. Too quickly, some would say. He married a woman named Veronica, a striking figure with sharp features and an even sharper mind. She was charming, intelligent, and manipulative, a combination that intrigued Richard and made Jack wary. Veronica wasted no time establishing her control in the household. She was meticulous, constantly watching over every aspect of Jack's life. What Jack's father saw as her taking an interest in his well-being, Jack knew to be something far more sinister. She never missed an opportunity to remind Jack that she wasn't his real mother. Her words dripped with venom, masked by a sweet, sugary smile that fooled his father time and again. As the years passed, Jack grew into a brooding teenager, his relationship with Veronica steadily worsening. Richard, blind to the tension in his home, remained under Veronica's spell. Jack knew he was alone in the fight against her, but he had no idea just how dangerous that fight would become. One evening, Jack overheard a conversation between Veronica and his father. They were discussing the family's estate, more specifically, the portion of it that Jack would inherit upon Richard's death. Veronica seemed overly concerned about Jack's share, pushing Richard to amend his will and leave everything to her. Richard, as always, was compliant, agreeing without much argument. It was then that Jack realized Veronica wasn't just a stepmother with a controlling streak. She was a predator, and he and his father were her prey. As the weeks went by, Jack started noticing small, strange things around the house. Medications for his father seemed to change without warning. His father, once robust and energetic, began complaining of fatigue and dizziness. Jack was convinced Veronica was poisoning him, slowly draining the life out of him to claim the inheritance for herself. But there was no proof, and without proof, Jack couldn't go to the authorities. So Jack decided to play her game. He started acting out, pretending to be more rebellious than usual. Veronica, ever the opportunist, took the bait. She began plotting to get rid of him too. Jack found a series of documents on her computer that outlined a fake suicide note written in his handwriting. The note explained how overwhelmed he was by life and how he couldn't take it anymore. She was planning to stage his death as a suicide. Jack knew the only way to stop her was to confront her, but he had to be smart about it. One night, while Richard was asleep, Jack lured Veronica into the basement under the pretense of a truce. He told her he was willing to leave the house and never come back if she would just leave his father alone. Veronica, seeing an easy way out, followed him, but Jack had no intention of leaving. Once they were in the basement, Jack locked the door behind them. He had set up a hidden camera earlier to record their conversation. As Veronica started outlining her plan for his demise, Jack pressed record, capturing every word. In a sudden fit of desperation, Veronica lunged at Jack, but he was ready. They struggled, and in the chaos, she slipped, hitting her head on the cold cement floor. Jack watched, his heart racing as Veronica lay there, unconscious. When the police arrived, Jack handed over the recording, along with Veronica's documents detailing her plan. The deadly game was over, and Jack had won. But the victory was hollow. His father, shattered by the truth, could never forgive himself for letting it get so far. Jack, meanwhile, would never forget the terror of being trapped in a deadly game orchestrated by the woman who had pretended to care for him, all the while plotting his destruction.